Oh man. Ooh, the rumors. Look at all these rumors. So we hearing about Tate at 12. And it's logical. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's logical. Y'all sit back. Boss got you.
Something to ride with. Something to listen to when you hit the highway. Something to roll with. When the music is grooving, you're there before you know it. Something to ride with. Something to listen to when you hit the highway. Something to roll with. When the music is grooving, you're there before you know it.
See, I'm the right one for this type of stuff, like for real. Because I've done a massive amount of research on this already. So the timing is great. The timing is great, and it's very realistic. Y'all think I'm playing? I'm not playing. You see, did y'all see what happened today? Muscle Delane done busted the clock. Muscle Lane done busted the clock. Brandon Leroy said, Cowboy fans waving bye to Mansour. Goodbye. Yeah, goodbye. So what does that do? That pushes down more weapons. Just keeping it real. It pushes down. And I'm telling you, it's realistic. So we go talk about all the ways that could happen and the benefits, because there's some benefits. There's some real benefits. Let me make sure I got y'all comments on. Then I'm gonna kick it off. I ain't gonna disappoint you on this one, for real. Cause see, Tate always made sense to me. Always. I've been pushing this for a minute. You know, not even trying to trade Pickens. But y'all know I did a lot of research on the disciples. It's a lot of disciples, you know, where you get these guys, you put them under existing number ones, and that thing take off like a rocket. Like for real. Like for real. So y'all give me 1 second, man. Let me just make sure I got y'all let me make sure I got y'all comments on and we go kick it off. Give me 1 second. I just need to double check everything real quick. Man. Yep. It's already interesting. So interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna make the case that where I would do it in a heartbeat, and not even just Tate. Shit, probably your best return on investment. All right, let's go. I'm gonna call you George. I appreciate it, bro. I got you. All right, so let's get into it. I can see y'all comments now. All right, so. Now, talking about Tate at 12, okay? So, let's kind of go through it real quick. Listen.
Now, crosstalk with KNC at 9:40.
All right, yeah, let's go to NFL.com. This is Chad Reuter. He always does by the end of the year, he'll do a 7-round mock. He does some of their longer form mocks, and so he's got his 4th rounder out now. But this is a little bit of I was excited in one way because I was like, all right, this isn't just a random, the fan mock that's being thrown up and just like people essentially guessing. It's somebody at NFL Network or at NFL.com who does talk to people and consult with people. And so it's like, all right, we'll get 4 rounds here. We're going to get 4 Cowboys.
That's very important what he just said. That's real important what he just said. See, you can't let that go by. See, what he just said is this is not just a random mock. This is a mock that's basically people that's hearing stuff, basically. It's the reason why I use CBS, because when you're dealing with CBS and their ranks is not just based on grades, 40s, stuff like that. It's also based on what the reporters are hearing. You know, usually most years CBS almost dead on, like pop, pop, pop. You know, some years they've been off, but sometimes they scared. You know, so don't miss what he's saying when it comes to this rank, and who putting it out there. This is coming from NFL. Okay, that's important. That's a very important distinction. Okay, so let me fast forward a little bit because I don't want to waste no time. I want to get right where he start going through the mocks. All right, so here we go. Listen.
Ohio State. Cardinals take Francis Mauigoa, the offensive tackle from Miami. Titans take David Bailey, the edge rusher from Texas Tech. Jeremiah Love, the Notre Dame running back, goes to the Giants. Monroe Freeling, the Georgia offensive tackle, goes to the Browns. Sonny Styles, linebacker from Ohio State, goes to the Commanders. Keldrick Falk, the edge rusher from Auburn, goes to New Orleans. That's high for him compared to some of the other mocks. Number 9, the Chiefs take Caleb Downs from Ohio State. 10, the Bengals take Mansour Delane, cornerback from LSU.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And likely he go rise. See, when you run a 4.38, that says a lot about your discipline. That says a lot about your training. It says a lot. And it allows scouts to check the box so that they can go ahead and put their stamp on you. So Mansour running that fast. Yeah, that's realistic. Listen, though.
11, the Miami Dolphins, one pick ahead of you. Take Reuben Bain, edge rusher from...
Ooh, that would hurt. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Reuben Bain, one pick above you. Can you imagine that? Listen.
Miami. So you look at the draft and you go, okay, we got a lot of the guys taken off the board that we like. Would we be willing to just say, you know what, let's go Dylan Thieneman this high? Or, let's go ahead and just take a risk on Jermod McCoy. Or maybe they just go to another corner. Say maybe Colton Hood from Tennessee or Avion Terrell from Clemson. Let's do something there. Nope. In this instance, the Cowboys say, who's the best player left on the board?
Now, let me tell y'all something. This is what you're supposed to do. See, we looking at the fact that we was like last place. So it's a lot of reach in the atmosphere. It's a lot of people that want to reach. And it's like, let's get D. Period. And my answer to all of y'all is,
oh, hell no.
No. If you wiped out, man, don't listen to what he said with some options, bro. Listen to this.
Hey, you know what? Let's go Dylan Thieneman this high.
Fuck no.
Oh, hell no.
No. Listen to the options.
Mansour Delane, cornerback from LSU. Ooh. 11, the Miami Dolphins, one pick ahead of you. Take Reuben Bain, edge rusher from Miami. So you look at the draft and you go, okay, we got a lot of the guys taken off the board that we like. Would we be willing?
That's the key. The boys that you like, gone. Gone. That's the key. That's the key.
To just say, you know what? Let's go Dylan Thieneman this high.
No.
Or, let's go ahead and just take a risk on Jermod McCoy. Or maybe they just go
to
another corner.
No.
Say maybe Colton Hood from Tennessee.
12? No.
Or Avion Terrell from Clemson.
Oh, hell no.
Eddie say, boss, can we really get wiped out? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm making a case on that. I'm making the case that, see, with Mansour Delane running that fast today, that's my whole point. Is it starting to shape up? The draft intel is starting to shape up that likely your best available, in my honest to God opinion, and I said this before the CeeDee Lamb draft, I said the way that draft was setting up, when you had Ruggs in that draft, you also had he was at Alabama. Damn, what's his name? Y'all help me out. Both of these balls is from Alabama. Jerry Jeudy. It was Jerry Jeudy in that draft. And I was over here like, CeeDee Lamb go slip. He go slip. Jefferson was in that draft. I was like, yeah, he go slip. That's how this draft is setting up. See, your defense is putting up stupid numbers right now. So your defense is getting checked off. To answer my boy Common Sense point, they and you got, in my opinion, you got to look at it like job security. So if you're a scout and your job is on the line, you want the guy that's gonna make you, even if you're wrong, check the most boxes to cover for you. See, that's where scouts are gonna usually go safe. Yeah, moving down is an option. Yeah, moving down is absolutely an option. I don't think they should though. But listen.
Let's do something there. Nope. In this instance, the Cowboys say, who's the best player left on the board?
Yes.
Well,
Which you should do. And real talk, you should say that.
the best player left on the board just happens to be an offensive player.
Yep.
And the Dallas Cowboys in this mock draft select Carnell Tate, wide receiver from Ohio State, with the 12th pick.
Bye, George.
If they do that, for sure.
He said, bye, George.
There's any chance he's available still?
Maybe. I don't think it's likely, but maybe. The receiver group is so kind of jumbled, and it just depends on how the needs stack up behind you.
I'll be honest. It's a
sexy pick.
He's. I've seen him as high as 2. I've seen him go as high as 2 in some of these mocks. Not many. If he's there at 12, that's lambish.
I think it's early. I don't think he's that good.
I don't think he's as good. I'm just saying it's like for him to fall that far.
He could go
It's
as high as,
kinda
I think,
lambish.
4, and I think he probably goes ahead of Dallas as his floor, but I mean, he could be there, but 4 would be as early as I could see him going to the Titans. Realistically, probably more like 5 to 8.
I want y'all to realize what he's saying. We will be getting a 5 to 8 receiver at 12. As your number 3. Bro. That is, I'm going to just tell you what this means. And I mean this. That is a guaranteed future All-Pro. Like guaranteed, bro. Guaranteed future All-Pro. And I promise you that. I'm not lying when I say that. Guaranteed future All-Pro.
Is what I think it would be. He's good, but I mean, the guy he reminds me of, and the guy who I think his career might end up having, is like, he's Calvin Ridley to me.
Ooh. Let me turn it off. Ooh. He said that like that ain't shit. I want y'all to imagine a bigger Calvin Ridley as your number 3, going against nickelbacks all season. I promise you, he is and would be a future All-Pro. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it. And when I say guarantee, I'm saying guarantee. Like when I tell you your return on investment would be immediate, I'm talking about immediate. Immediate. So why would I say something that bold? Why would I say that? I've been talking about this disciple stuff for a while. Okay. So I did a lot of research on this. And this is what I found. When you get and draft a first round receiver and you put them under an existing All-Pro, the chances of them succeeding go up exponentially as high as 95%. That's why I'm saying guaranteed All-Pro. Like, look at the list of these people that came in under existing number ones and just think about how their careers played out. Like most of them. If I just let it play, right? And just think about what he said. Like Bobby Bell said, a bigger Calvin Ridley. Bruh, listen. It is too many benefits. And I'm saying immediately. Like, I'm talking about out the gate. He go get you a K. Look at the disciples. Like, remember, these guys came from, and they was under existing All-Pros. And the history of your own team is epic. So remember, Dez came in like that. People forgot Dez came in. He was the number 3. Had no pressure. So he was able to cut his teeth on young bulls, just like Tate would. And what did his career turn out to be? He was the number 3 in Dallas. And this a long history of this working exponentially well. Based on how we're set up, I want y'all to listen to me. Like, you would get, so we've been like immediate impact. So like, for people that have been concerned about windows and we need to take care of Dak's window, like, what's the best for Dak window? Well, I put it like this. If you drafted a defensive end, that probably wouldn't be good for his window unless it's Bain or Bailey. Those are the two I would feel the most comfortable with in terms of instant impact. But other than that, we know what's going to happen. They're going to need to develop. And if an edge has to develop, what does that do to the window and the final stages of Dak's careers? You gambling with that. But if you was to get like a running back, right? Let's say if Love slipped or Tate was to slip, those two positions are like immediate impact, like right now. And if you look at the history of what happened when you put existing wide receivers like Julio under Roddy White, they go crazy. And the same thing happened with Ridley. Ain't that what Bobby said? He would be another Ridley. But what happened when you put Ridley under Julio? Let me see if my fire button still work. Let me see if my button still work. Let me see.
Yoga fire. Yoga fire.
Dracarys.
Yoga rain.
He said
Dracarys.
So hold on real quick. So I want to address this because this is a fair comment. This is a very fair comment. Let me address this. He said, better stop effing around and just pay GP. The problem is, depends, right? What do it depend on? Depends on him. And it depends on Jerry. So if David Mulugeta is doing what he normally does, then it ain't gonna be no, we just need to pay him. Because there does get to a point. It can get to a point. Not it does. I don't know why I said that. It does get to a point to where sometimes the agent can be ridiculous. And if the agent is coming in ridiculous, like he did with Derek Stingley, You have to prepare yourself for a quality landing, a quality crash landing, where you could actually come out on top and make your team even better. It might be a little bit bumpy, but likely when it come down to this, it ain't gonna be bumpy at all. When I say it ain't gonna be bumpy at all, I'm talking about not even a little bit. This is what I mean by that. Okay. This is the number one thing I'm gonna show y'all that's dope to me. And this is what I would do. And I'm just being all the way honest. This is what I would do. I would, if we get wiped out, I would draft Tate in a heartbeat. Okay. And I would be open to flip Pickens. I sure would. Because I looked at the history of this. Okay. This is the best part though. You don't have to. You could actually watch it play out first. You could look at them balls side by side and say, okay, now that I'm watching him in my offense with Dak, do I feel comfortable with him being my future number 2 and potentially my future number 1? If that answer is yes, if he lighten it up early, which he likely would, and I'm talking about Tate with Dak, then what you do is you go right to them trade deadlines and you say, listen, we finna flip this dude for some players. We can go for players or picks. Because now you would basically have like 3 number 1s. Real talk. Now hear me out. So I would immediately spam the hell out of Pickens on the first half of the season. I would spam him on purpose. I would light it up with him. I would make it known that this is the best receiver in the league. If I'm Jerry now, I'm trying to like run it up. Yep. Run it up. Now, let me show you the benefit if you do what I'm saying. I'm serious. Because I already researched this. So I looked up and I asked about players that was on tags that got traded. So y'all check this out. I got 3. And they all worked out very well. So D Ford was traded to the Niners. And they was able to get a high 2nd round pick. Now, think about it. If you gave up a 3rd and you got a 2nd, that would be absolutely like a cold flip. And you would still have 2 dope weapons, Tate and CD. And check this out. Now listen. Look at how this one worked out. Frank Clark. So Frank Clark, right, was on a franchise tag, just like Pickens. He was traded by the Seahawks to the Chiefs. And they got a 2019 first rounder and a 2020 second round pick. And they swapped 3rd round picks. The best example, the most realistic example, Devontae Adams. If you look at Devontae Adams, he was tagged by the Packers. He was tagged by the Packers, sent to the Raiders for a 1st round pick and a 2nd round pick. Now, keep in mind, you would be able to do this while knowing you in good hands. See, that's what people got to realize. This is not a plan where you don't know if you're in good hands. You would know. You would be able to say, oh yeah, this dude, he nice. We watched it now 6 games. He nice. He real. So this ain't something you do if you don't feel good. You do it when you feel good. If you don't feel good, you keep all 3. So like, I see this as something that's just, it's like, it's almost impossible to lose. You get a guy that's going to have instant impact, the most impact out of almost any player based on where he would be coming in. He would be coming in as the disciple. He would be coming in as the number 3. And people got to understand that mean he's automatically going to be going against literal the nickelback. And CeeDee Lamb them go be taking cornerback 1 and 2 brackets and all that kind of stuff. His confidence would be through the roof. I'm talking about Tate. I'm talking about this thing will be stupid. And I'm talking about immediately. Like immediately. And listen, this wouldn't just work with Tate. This would work with them other dudes too. And see, that's why I'm telling y'all, we should prepare our minds for this, in my opinion. We should prepare our minds for this. He said, because every one of the top receivers got some type of question mark. Jordan Tyson, Tate, fantastic. Question about his injuries, soft tissue, stuff like that. Lemon, dope. So dope. Man, you talking about complete dog. But when he was interviewing. So people go overthink it. Because his interview, he was a little weird. It's like, I'm cool. He could be as weird as he was. Oh man, my boy Tariq. I'm cool with this Tariq. My boy Tariq, boy. Y'all listen, man. I love y'all, man, but y'all not tough enough for me, dog. Y'all be falling in love with these dudes. Hold on real quick. Let me show my boy comment. He said, boss, we not getting ready to Pickens. You get your trenches last year. We want our receiver. See, I ain't gonna let you do that to me, dog. Because if it wouldn't have been for me, you wouldn't have got Pickens. We gonna keep it real. If it wouldn't have been for me, we wouldn't have got Pickens. See, y'all wanted Matthew Golden. And see, y'all would be doing better than Matthew Golden. And Tate. And Ted. Y'all would be doing better, but yet y'all don't want it. Because it's not Pickens. And I offered the fairest deal in the world. I let you test drive the car for 2 months. And you ain't gotta buy nothing. And see, you say that now. He said, I was saying I don't want to get rid of Pickens. You say that now. See, it's easy to say I don't want to get rid of him now. But if you saw somebody come in that's looking just as good but you have 5 years of his rights, and he blocks, and he has beautiful body control. He go up and get it like Pickens too. Projected to be literally a top 5 to 8, and we could get him at 12. And you test drove it. You saw with your own eyes he balling. I can't give no fairer deal than that. Now, if he not, let's say if you put him in here and Pickens is just as smoking him, like just like they not even close, right? Well, if that's the case, then well, you know, Pickens still playing on a tag. But this is the problem. If Pickens play on that tag, you blew all that money in the wind. Do y'all want to do that? Or would you be open to say, let's test drive the other car, right? We go watch it all the way up to the trade deadline. And if it look like it can take that step, we gonna move forward with that. And that's gonna be our number one and our other number one. That's what we gonna do. And before we get nothing, we're gonna trade Pickens for something. And I'm gonna try to get what we got out of Adams. Y'all wouldn't be for that? No, I'm asking a question. Would you be for that? Would you be for flipping Pickens and getting, like Adams, a first and a second, where he costs you a third? Because if they want him to play on that tag, bruh, that means he might play the whole year, and then we might have to let him go into free agency, and we got nothing. Let me say that again, bro. This is why the Tate plan is dope. It's dope because if you let Pickens play on the tag, right? And at the end of that year, you let him walk away, you get nothing. With the plan I'm talking about, you could potentially get a first round pick, a second round pick, maybe even a player or players. I would do it. And see, and the number one reason is also you would be having 5 years of a top receiver's rights. Think about that. If you trying to really take advantage of Dak's window, wouldn't you want a guy to where you could say, listen, man, the average per year on Pickens right now is going to be around 40. Let's say his cap hit is 12, right? But then it's going to start ballooning pretty quick. By year 3, year 4, it's going to really balloon. That's year 3, year 4. That'll be right there at the pivotal points of Dak's window. You could have a ballooning wide receiver 1, or you could have another wide receiver 1 on a rookie contract with 5 years of his rights. That literally gives you 3 to 4 years to continue to build around that. So if you're trying to do like what my bro said, I'm leaving here with something, you better consider this plan, because you might end up with nothing. So I told you I was gonna do a video on this, man, because you know, a lot of us, we so pigeonholed into defense, we won't kind of see, in my opinion, opportunities like where you could still do some massive team building with this. You can have some massive dopeness with this. You could have an automatic mismatch every game. Look at that body control. Boy, y'all playing with me. Look at the boy, y'all playing with me. Boss, he ain't gonna be shit, boss. Boy, you better go look at the man. That boy body control off the chain. That boy tracked that ball with ease. Oh, let me go look at this one again. Watch him on the sideline. 2 feet down. Ooh, wait. Hold on real quick. Not that one. I'm gonna show one more. Ooh, not that one. See, that's dope too. This one, I think it's this one. Watch this. Watch this. Yeah. Look at the 2. What? That's an NFL catch right there, brother. 2 feet down, extended like this. Ooh, y'all playing with me. Shit. So listen, and I'm talking about there is literally no position like wide receiver 2 when you draft a first round receiver and put him under all pro, there is no better return on investment. Only guard. I think guard and wide receiver 2, those are your, and running back. Those 3, if they put in the right program, boy, they go crazy. If you give a dope young running back elite blocking up front, he go get you a return. If you give a team a wide receiver first round that's under, he go give you a crazy return. And I'm talking about immediate. And I've been looking at this for years, and it does not fail. So I know a lot of people get scared and they be like, let's go defense. Let's move down. Listen, I would rather do this. I say, listen, when it come to 12, get the dopest dude. Just get the dopest dude. If it's Tate, do it. Because it's 12. 12 is about the rare guy. The rare guy. So let me just ask y'all a couple of more questions, because some people might be still struggling with this vision. I'm going to just ask you some basic questions for let's draft defense ass people. We needed DT under Rob Marinelli. Who was the better pick, Tristan Hill or DK Metcalf? Because both of them were sitting there at pick 58. Who was the clear best pick, career-wise? Both of them were sitting right there. Who was the best career pick, Greg Ellis or Randy Moss? Huh? But what did we do? We picked need again, didn't we? Who was the better pick, CeeDee Lamb or Chase Young? That year we needed defense too. Huh? Okay. See, that's why we got to be careful. See, this is what Hen and them say. Don't draft horny. See, we horny for defense. Yeah, that's like going grocery shopping. Hungry. That's low. Now, when you sitting there and you got a chance at the dopest dude, and he so happened to be a weapon, I'm open to it 100%. Like not even tripping. Not even tripping. I'm like, bro, this dude finna be our wide receiver 3. He gonna be eating every week. Like every week, he gonna be matched up on the 3rd best corner. Every week, we can line up in 11 personnel. I just want you to use your imagination. Just imagine this. Zeke and Ramsey. Thank you, C. Yeah, he said, boss, we gave up a 511 points. We gonna ignore that? Nope. Let me address this real quick. He said we gave up 511 points. Are we going to ignore that? Nope. Are we ignoring it now? We ain't made some moves that we're better. See, because the defense was ranked so bad, I just listen, y'all. This is just me. And I'm like Tariq on this. No, I actually not like Tariq. He said, boss, I respect your vision. I don't think the 12th pick should be the best player on the board, no matter the position. Well, it depends. If it's quarterback, no. Yeah, you ain't gonna pick a quarterback. No. Right? But most of the time, it's not just about the best player. It's about which player go give you right now impact. Right now. That's what I'm trying to explain. And it's the player that's gonna give you right now impact is the guy that's gonna be coming in as the number 3. I'm talking about he gonna come in and immediately cook. I'm talking about immediately. All history says that's gonna happen, brother. But if you got, let's say if you got defensive line or edge, shit, what Okoye said the other day. He said, what Chase undo first year? 2 sacks. Right? What did most edges do year 1, year 2? Womp. Am I lying? You say McCoy or Delaney gives you the right now impact? Yeah. They do. They do give you right now impact. But not like receiver coming in at, no, they don't. No, they don't. They don't have the return, immediate return that wide receiver 2 does when you draft one in the first round. And if they not better players, I'm not doing it. If I gotta wait a year, I'm gonna wait a year. I'm just gonna wait. And I felt like we did good enough in free agency. It's like we got us a starting corner. You know, we got Bland coming off year 2. I mean, not Bland coming off year 2. We got Rebel go be 2 years off of that knee. I ain't panicking on corner. We got 2 starting caliber corners right now. Yeah. So if they not better than Tate, I'm not doing it. Just because we need it. I ain't doing that shit. No. I'm going with what I'm going with right now, literally right now, what's going to give me my best impact. So let me ask you a question. Can you give me a high probability that any one of them corners are going to be all pros? Because my plan is the all pro plan. Yeah. See, my plan is going to give you likely another all pro. See, do you want all pro or do you want a good player? Because when you put these dudes and they discipled under an all pro, they usually become all pros. So this is what I'm saying. You got all pro university, Ohio State. mixed with 2 All-Pros, CeeDee Lamb and Pickens. So the receiver All-Pro University mixed with the 2 best receivers, that ain't finna generate another one? Now give me the All-Pros, please. And I don't think your plan can generate a corner All-Pro like my plan can generate a receiver All-Pro. And since we sitting in a rare position where we could take advantage of it, I'm like, shit, I'd rather put my resources there. Draft your corner at 20. How about do that? You can't do that? You can't draft your corner at 20? Where he won't be a reach? Likely, you can get Avion Terrell right there. There your corner. Cool? Shake hands? Shit. Like, now, 12 is who that dude and who go be able to come in and make that impact right now. Right now. And right now, that's Tate. Easily. I'm glad the conversation is. Now, if he would have been my hero, if he would have been coming in to be the number 1, nah, I wouldn't have been with it. But the fact that he would be coming in with little pressure, that CeeDee Lamb and Pickens gonna be eating up all that pressure, and man, this dude go crazy. Like, I guarantee you he gonna give you 1,100. He gonna give you 7 touchdowns. You're 1. 7 to 10. You're 1. I'm talking about Tate. Yeah, I'm talking about 1,100. He gonna give you 7 to 10 touchdowns. You're 1. Just like we see with so many other disciples who come in going crazy as the number 2. He will be coming in as the number 3. Boy, I'm taking that deal. So I ain't reaching for no defense. I'm not over here going to ignore a chance to make an All-Pro just because we got a need somewhere. I ain't gonna do it. If I need to move down for more picks, I'm gonna move down at 20, dog. But 12, I'm gonna take the best. Yeah, so anyway, man, it's your boy Boss Show Me. I'm gonna likely come back later. I think about doing some film. I want to look at them linebackers. But I want to talk about the new, what's been coming out, like with Tate at 12. And I'm telling everybody right now, I'm super open for it. I'm all the way open for it. I think it gives you a tremendous amount of options. It definitely is, most importantly, it's insurance against David Mulugeta. That's one of the most important things. And it assures you that you won't get nothing. So if you try to get Pickens to play on a tag, you would have the option now, because you got another weapon that can be your number 1. I mean your number 2. Now you can say, you know what? Let's try to get something before the trade deadline. Let's do that before we end up empty-handed altogether. So now we'll have actually more than having nothing. Because see, David still has to negotiate with Jerry, and just don't think that's gonna be pretty. I'm not naive like that. I don't. So, in my opinion, it's in our best interest to have leverage ourselves. Strong leverage to say, okay, if we lose you, we're okay. And we ramped him up slow. We didn't ramp him up fast. We gave him 7 games to get acclimated, and he was able to cut his teeth on the nickels. And we got a load for you, probably got some starters for you. And I'm talking about for Pickens. So it goes to like what Jerry said a long time ago. The way this go play out is gonna depends on, honestly, David Mulugeta. Listen to Jerry, he explained it best.
With George Pickens, how do you plan to approach those negotiations this time around in terms of direct contact versus the agent?
Gosh, you guys know me pretty well in here. I can be as whatever you want me to be. And I can be sweet, or I can be the other way too. So however we need to do it.
Ooh. That boy said I can be sweet or I can be the other way too. However you want to play it. Now, and that was a direct question about Pickens' contract. Direct question.
With George Pickens, how do you plan to approach those negotiations this time around in terms of direct contact versus the agent?
Gosh, you guys know me pretty well in here. I can be as whatever you want me to be. And I can be sweet or I can be the other way too.
Hold on. We got us a good question. He say, why not? I think this is a fair question. Chris Johnson. Yeah, that's a good question. He said, why not keep Pickens and trade CD? Well, you got Pickens right now under attack, so you don't have any long-term rights on him. So that means that you against the clock with Pickens because his future right now is uncertain. So until you actually have a long-term agreement with him, he's the one that would be the most urgent to trade because you don't own his rights. Because if you let the clock run out, Chris, you get nothing. Or you would have to tag him twice, which would be way more expensive. So before you lose all of that, if we tag Pickens, to me, he should be the first up to trade because we don't have those long-term rights. That's why. But going back to what Jerry was saying, he was like, y'all know me by now.
Negotiations this time around in terms of direct contact versus the agent.
Gosh, you guys know me pretty well in here. I can be as...
Man, he looked at his fingernails when he said it.
The agent.
Gosh, you guys know me pretty well in here. I can be...
He looked at his fingernails, but...
Negotiations this time around in terms of direct contact versus the agent.
Gosh, you guys know me pretty well in here. I can be as whatever you want me to be.
And then he said, I think Pickens is going to listen to Dak and bet on himself, boss. Yeah, if he do that, it's going to what Jerry talking about right now. It's basically you saying, I'm finna try to run up the price by playing good a whole nother year. And if that's what Dak is saying, well, you could also, Jerry could also say, all right, we can get Tate and we can flip you. He said, how you want to play it?
The agent.
Gosh, you guys know me pretty well in here. I can be as whatever you want me to be. And I can be sweet or I can be the other way too. So however we need to do it.
Now we can settle this like you got some class, so we can get into some gangster shit.
Go get it, Bob. Bring the bitch here.
Freeze, nigga, you wanna die?
Yep. See Jerry trying to tell you. We could play like some class or we get some gangster. Getting Tate would be gangster. And I'm all the way for it. I'm all the way for it. Boss, show me. I'm out.
Something to ride with, something to listen to when you hit the highway, something to roll with. When the music is grooving, you're there before you know it. Something to ride with, something to listen to when you hit the highway, something